Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And today we're talking about Season 11, Episode 14, titled The Rotten Core. Aaron, what do you think about this? A more action-heavy episode than recent ones?
There's some things I'm still enjoying about the show, but I'm getting pretty feeling a certain way about the way the direction of the season's going. I feel like they keep on wanting to do things and just mucking up the pacing or the order or how quick people change sides, and what could have been a really interesting slow boil of this fundamentally group of good people that have done compromised ethical and moral things coming into a truly corrupt system and having that be like this kind of pressure cooker. They're just doing it the stupidest way possible. Yeah, not the most stupid, the stupidest. That's how stupid they are. They're not conjugating their verbs properly.
The most stupidest, even.
Yeah, the most dumbest way that they possibly can. And I don't know, man. It's just bewildering. Casey Jones is back to being Casey Jones. I was this close to calling him Elijah, and he shows up looking like a Mutant Ninja Turtle buddy.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't understand why. Like,
I know why. I know why. It's because Leah's back this episode. I'm aware. Right. I'm 100% aware he doesn't know that, but the writers know it, and so
they know that, and they want us to make sure. Like, who is this? Like, oh, right, she's the one of them Reachers, right? Yeah, I saw them on Amazon. I don't know. It's weird to watch this phase of the show where some things are smart. Like, man, I really want to watch Negan having a showdown with Herschel Jr.
And that was a really good scene. I love that scene.
That's a really good scene, but Herschel Jr. hasn't been developed as a character,
right.
And he's kind of just not as really good as a presence standing across from Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and as a result, I'm also have no gun to my head. I have no idea how much time has elapsed between some of these episodes.
It's got to be because at least 12 weeks, because that's 12 how
if
pregnant Annie is.
Negan said peace to Maggie and then found this lady, knocked her up that fucking night. It's been 12 weeks. I knew there's been some time elapsed, but like, this is a show that's been like 14 weeks or 12 hours before, or blah blah. Yeah. And I wonder if I missed a title card that said something like 1 year later or something. I
don't think so. I think the farthest flashback we've seen is like a month. But there's time passing between these episodes that we're just not really given any indication on how large it is.
I don't know whether this writer's room completely decohesed during the COVID protocols. I don't know whether they were like really amped up to get to write this last season, and Walking Dead said, "Oh, well, here's the thing: it's going to be 24 episodes long. Oh, well, we'll get like a third more budget, right?" And AMC's like, actually, it's going to be half, and you're going to have to film. They said actually it's going to be
half after they stopped laughing. It took them 15 minutes,
right.
And then they called Darabont and said, "Listen to this shit."
Yeah, and then Angela Kang's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't know, but like, it's wild how much the writing has gone downhill after how pretty good, not excellent, but pretty good it was a 9 and most a 10. In my opinion, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're slinging a lot at this episode. I think it wasn't awful. I think it's definitely uneven. But I enjoyed certain moments from it. That Negan scene is a standout for me with Negan and Herschel.
Yep.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan makes that scene. I mean, you put that scene in the hands of a lesser actor, and it just it does not work. But he nails it. I think seeing Carol and her dealing with Lance and knowing all of the things we know about Carol, right? And what this look means as she's walking out the door. Like, Lance, you are in some serious trouble and you have no idea. I was kind of tickled by that.
Except for I think Lance does. That's the thing that I thought was really good. Is like Carol's trying to cook him. She's trying to Carol cook him, and Lance is smart enough that he suspects he's being Carol cooked.
Yeah, but I think Yeah, you're right. I mean, he does suspect something. You can see it on his face at the end, but also I'm not sure he quite understands who he's dealing with here. Like he might think of her in terms of Commonwealth commoners. And if they tried to get me, what would they do? Right? If Eugene came after me, what would that look like? But this is Carol. Right. This is Rambo Carol. So who knows what's going to happen here? But I'm excited to see it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this it feels rushed, feels disjointed, feels like we're flipping back and forth on the accelerator, not sure when to accelerate into this plot and when to just kind of sit back. But
it also feels like a people that are levying criticisms that they don't really understand. It's like the writers' room's like, man, things are bleak. The world's pretty awful. We're looking at all these protests and it seems like something's wrong with capitalism. We should go real hard against capitalism. Mm-hmm. But you don't really understand like why, the quote unquote good things about capitalism. Like, sure. Because there's ways you can defend this system from within that don't make it seem like you're the most out of touch, entitled, like, well, so some people are just better than other people. I mean, shit, didn't you read Animal Farm? Didn't we understand that some people are just better?
I mean, like, that first scene.
Honestly, you could just go to quote Animal Farm in a couple places. It would be smarter than some of the stuff where like Lance's at the end is like, well, you just kind of understand that we got to do things like this, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just so stupid. And I don't know. That's where I get upset because like I think that some of these messages a lot of people should probably hear, a lot of people in the core audience. But when you do it in a very not smart way, not nuanced way that doesn't at least lean in and acknowledge that there are some pros to the thing that you're trying to criticize, or there's a reason why some of these systems are set up. They need to be reformed. They need to be changed. Some of them need to be dismantled. But if you can't even give the art, it's like someone's like, you know what? I've heard flat Earth is stupid. I'm going to make a video about how stupid flat Earth is. And they say something about, I don't know, before Columbus was a thing, people thought the Earth was flat. And anyone, even if you're not a flat earther, if you hear that and you're like, well, that's stupid. That's a dumb argument. That's not even true. It makes the other like, well, I mean, shit, maybe the earth is flat. And I feel like that's the kind of shit that we're dealing with here. We're dealing with Christopher Columbus level arguments about the world not being flat when we should be talking about Christopher Columbus starting a slave empire in Central America or something. I don't know.
And I don't think they don't understand the things that they're trying to write about, the writers. I think they get them. I think there's stuff that they're doing in here, like this dehumanizing talk about the others, right? That happens at the beginning of this. I think that's kind of a core thing. Nice to see that society is functioning as intended. That's kind of how things go. So I get like an impression that they understand the issues they're writing about, but maybe they aren't articulating them very well.
Well, no, they understand the things that are bad, but I don't know that from a first principles they could argue.
Sure.
Like other than stuff that's basic, like, hey, you shouldn't refer to people as animals and vermin. That's like a bright white line that we should, even for our enemies, because if you stop making that distinction, that's when really bad shit starts happening. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit persnickety. But aside from that, I just think there's also basic storytelling and character issues that they have. The fact that they've short-changed, and that's why I guess I'm coming out riding hard against this episode. Is this me retroactively? I've been saying for a long time, well, maybe they'll do this, maybe they do. This is me coming and be like, nope, the crows, the cows, the roosters, the whole Animal Farm has come home to roost. Because you didn't lay the foundations for some of this stuff. And even the stuff that works, like, again, Negan would work so much better if... Herschel was as developed as like Judith.
Right. Yeah. If they had been telling a story where Maggie was trying to walk her son through the emotions of having her father killed, right? Before he knew him. So I don't know. It's not the best.
So this kid had this kid had some experience, working up to these scenes where he'd have to. It's not fair, I think, to throw a 10-year-old into like a wood chipper of a scene like this, because all he's been cast is he's a cute Asian kid that we like to think about being Glenn's son. That's all he's had to do. Yeah. All he's had to do. And now it's like, hey, get up against Jeffrey fucking Dean Morgan and pull a gun on him and make us think, kid, that you're actually gonna blow his brains out. No chance. No chance that I think that was going to happen.
And I don't know this kid, so I'm not sure if like this is the type of kid who could be talked out of this situation or would hesitate to pull this trigger once he's realized this is the man who killed my father. Like, I need to know a little bit more about this kid to really feel what's going on in his head in this scene.
I mean, they've said that he's like one of them road kids, you know, that he hasn't, he's rough and ready, but it's like,
which to me says just pull the trigger.
Well, and every single time the few times I've seen him interact with the other kids, I feel like he's in the soft kids column with like Gracie and RJ, and Judith is in like the hard kids column that like, nah, she actually can hold her own and protect herself. Maybe I got that opinion that I gotten that the wrong way around, but like I got the impression by watching the show. So
yeah, I don't know, man. It's certainly not the best episode, but I've seen worse. For sure.
Oh, for sure. This still isn't like they still like it's not full on
Slaptown or
right. We haven't completely gone all the way down, but we're heading there. And and also, God, the whole Daryl flipping on Maggie. That feels like it's going to be a rope-a-dope at this point.
Yeah, totally.
I don't buy that Daryl backs Hornsby.
Nope.
Because he can get Judith a record player after he's seen the shit in this episode. So there's almost like no tension. Like it's obvious now that this is going to be something to, hornswoggle Hornsby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly seems like it. I mean, I sort of like the flip flop on that because when we first saw it, we were like, what are the circumstances under which Daryl would come back to Hilltop
high.
and go, oh my God. So I like that they've twisted it, but you're right. They've telegraphed it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our initial thoughts. Maybe we should get into the recap now.
Yeah, it's really get to that rotten core. Ream it out. See if there's anything to save here.
All right, but first, let's take a quick break. We start off with close-ups of the people who were pushed from the building last episode and turned into zombies. They're turning into zombies. And then Toby contacts Lance to let him know the job is done, but it really isn't. He says the job is done, but part of that was finding the supplies, and he hasn't done that. And then a trooper runs up and tells Toby they've got men down at the east exit. And this is what I was talking about with the dehumanizing of people. Lance's conversation here with Toby is something about like, oh, they've devolved beyond the point of no return. It's talking
People
about
like
subhumans.
Rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, that's the thing. It seems like it's good, number one, because you don't underestimate your enemies. You give them full humanity and cleverness and ingenuity and stick-to-itiveness and a will to survive like you would any other human. Mm-hmm. So it's bad strategy and tactics. It's also, I think that's when you start getting war crimes, when people are like, these people are like cockroaches. They're like rats. They're like dogs. They're like sheep. They're like... It's, these are things that, right or wrong, we have herded and domesticated and enslaved and slaughtered. And, and yeah, it's bad. It's bad news. But it's also if we were slow boiling the frog, we went from like a 2 or 3 to just like a 10 on the old burner, letting us see this kind of rotten core of the Commonwealth. And we were already going pretty fast. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, heart's in the right place. I don't know. Speaking of in the right place, why the fuck can't they have the bayonets on these goddamn Commonwealth guns pointed straight? Half of the guns on the bayonets are leaning down like a fit. Like I swear to, if you bump these props, it just must been the bayonet like 15, 20 degrees. Maggie's advancing down like this thing with she got droopy. She got a droopy bayonet, man. She needs bayonet suspenders.
That's useless.
It's and they got this like ridiculously large, oversized, menacing bayonet affixed to all of these rifles.
Oh, it's like katanas strapped to the front of these guns. What is it?
Yeah, no, it's like a Rambo knife.
What?
Like it's like 14, 15 inches long. It's pointed at the front, and none of them. They don't. No one even uses it. Like fucking Mercer drops his to use the smaller axe. Like you've got more range. Anyway, fix these bayonets, people. This is driving me crazy. I noticed it's the first goddamn time these guys show up, and it's 2.5 seasons later, and they're still drooping.
Maybe that's just their style. Is there something they know about bayonets that we don't? Maybe they were more effective at a certain angle.
Yeah, they're like the medieval halberds. They're at a weird angle, so you can pull a guy off a horseback or something. You can hook him. The other thing is, does the scale of this operation make sense from what we know of this apartment? How many people are living here? I feel like they've thrown 12 people off the roof. They've killed like half a dozen I've seen. There's people running and screaming and dying by the roomfuls in this room. I thought there was like 40 people living here.
Yeah, I think that was the total they mentioned. So if like 6 go overboard and then they kill 20, I feel like it's close.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because there weren't that many people in that room, right? There were maybe 20 people,
I guess,
in that room. So if half of them have already been killed or are
felt like there was always more of them to kill whenever they wanted to have Toby and his death squad advancing through a hallway capping fools,
Yeah. Every time you saw Toby, there were some people dying in the background, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So Maggie and Aaron and the others all sneak through the building toward the gunfire. This is what you're talking about here. Lots of people dying and shooting in the background. A very quick, wordless scene here. And then Carol tries to talk to Daryl, but he's pulled away by the troopers. Daryl goes into Trooper HQ and talks to Rosita. They're assigned jobs for the day. And then Sebastian starts boasting about his prowess killing walkers, and Daryl patronizes him. And then afterward, another trooper tells Rosita and Daryl to join them in taking down a herd outside the walls.
Yeah. I think... Do you think it's weird that nobody mows the police off the police's yard?
Oh, is that true? Man, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah,
I think that is weird. Yeah, totally.
I thought everything within Commonwealth was kind of like suburban manicured, and I feel like they're hurting for sets and budget, so they're just like back to like, let's find an abandoned building in Georgia and shoot, which is fine. But fucking mow this granary's yard, this co-op grain feed depot. Just mow the lawn before you start shooting, because I thought the Commonwealth was the type of place that was doing this kind of broken windows, Yeah,
I thought they were different, as Gabriel says.
Also, they made the crack about them eating, the cops eating donuts, leaning to the stereotype, which I thought was kind of funny. But on second watch, it made me notice. Is it weird how just like a totally 21st century cop shop this Commonwealth outpost is? Like the two desks pushed together, click clack of the typewriter because everyone's writing criminal reports, and
Yeah, I looked at the troopers as more of a military. I know they're both. They're military and police, but
sure, but they're really leaning into the cop part of it. Because I thought, they were more of a militia force,
right. But I suppose they would have paperwork they need to do in this society.
Imagine making people do paperwork, like Alexandria have to do paperwork every time you go outside the wall.
Yeah, what does Daryl think of paperwork? What does feral Daryl think of fucking TRS reports? Can you imagine him
just sitting here hunting and pecking like clack clack? You got some of that correction fluid? I need some of that white out. Rosita. Yeah, I get to see it.
Yeah, I can't imagine Daryl in an office setting at this point. It just doesn't. It doesn't work, man.
As long as a Keith Judith in records, man, he will pay any price. Swallow a river of shit. The RPM 33s must flow.
Apparently. All right, Maggie's group continues moving through the apartment building, and they run into Negan and Annie. Negan tells them that Toby doesn't have Gabriel and shows them a secret door leading to a hidden area where Gabriel and the others are. Annie claims that her people didn't steal the guns from the convoy, and she won't leave without her people, so they decide to split into teams and search for the others. Negan stays behind, and Maggie goes with Annie.
I thought this scene of them all meeting was really funny. It's a real circle of life moment, like there's always a bigger fish. Like Annie comes up behind Maggie's like, drop your shit. And then Casey Jones comes up behind Annie. He's like, drop your shit. And then Negan comes up behind Casey Jones like, everybody take your shit and put it back in your pants. Like, there's always a bigger, badder fish coming along.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. They're going to get into some Negan and Annie stuff here that I don't find particularly compelling. Like her arguments about Negan, or I don't know, maybe I find them compelling, but from Maggie's point of view, I don't. And this is kind of the start of it.
It's also weird because Aaron wants to know, like, well, did you guys steal our shit or not? And Annie's like, and Aaron's like, well, I don't know, because you also keep a bookcase full of skulls. And I'm thinking that's a valid point.
Totally.
Like, this is a hairpin turn for this group to go from the crazy Michael Bain scripture quoting, gonna bleach your skull and add it to my collection, to actually, we're just a small family group, and we're and there's a lot of like, well, these were the people we were. No, Michael Bain is a nutter right now. Yeah. Like, I don't buy that type of leader can be otherwise just stable.
Yeah. And
I felt like Aaron's like got a damn good course. She could also said, well, says the guy with the bloody mace for a fucking hand. There's the ways the conversation could have gone, but I felt like, that this was an argument that's valid. Like, why do you have a bookcase full of skulls? Yeah. Even for post-apocalyptic America, that's kind of fucked up, Annie. And the show just is not going to answer that question, because I think it's one of those like irresolvable conflicts. Sure.
Everybody just has to agree. Okay, we both have some fucked up stuff here, and let's keep going.
That's one thing. But like, I don't think you will have an Alexandria type civilization that has a bookcase full of skulls. It just doesn't seem like that's the case. Alexander's done fucked up shit, but like having crosses full of corpses and stuff on their wall, like that's not, that Mad Max shit. You can't have a fundamentally good society with that stuff kind of burbling in its core.
Yeah, for sure. And they have taken just a complete U-turn on these people, like when we first met them. And, it's clear that was in the cards from the very beginning, right? Like the Toby stuff makes that the obvious outcome here. But also, I feel like they didn't paint those lines in very well, because I'm looking at their leader, and I'm saying you can't have someone leading you who's that crazy if you are also not that crazy.
See, and I guess that's the problem with the rotten core, because if I talk about the phrase the rotten core and applies to this episode, it's almost like Sebastian and Hornsby and maybe the Michael Bain character, Ian, they are the rotten core. And it almost implies that you could have this fucked up hierarchical system if just only good people, if only better people were on top of it, the situation would be better, instead of like, this is a fucked up system that is bound to put people like this. The rot promotes to the core. And they could have said something kind of, I think, smart about these types of systems and how it's like, no, actually, they're kind of inevitable. Once you set these things up and you have society need of an underclass to exploit cheap labor from, to make everything kind of go. And that's just the way, like, that's a problem. And even if you had Rick fucking Grimes at the top of this, he would tear it down, because that's not right. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, well, we should pay these people a little bit more, or we should, not, we should only send 12 single mothers out to get our cash depots instead of 40. It's like, no, this just has to fucking stop.
Right.
If there's dangers, we all should have to carry them burdens, and if there's benefits, we should all, share in those to some extent. So I think it's a real missed opportunity to be like, well, it's just the bad people that are at the top.
Yeah. All right. Rosita and Daryl are taken to the herd. Then Sebastian shows up and tells them, actually, this is a mission to go in to his friend's house where there's a panic room full of cash that he needs because his mommy cut off his allowance. Daryl refuses and threatens to kill Sebastian after he threatens Judith and Coco. Eventually, Daryl and Rosita cover themselves in guts and head toward the house. They relent. This is why I don't watch Succession, man. Why would I want to see a whole drama based around a bunch of this guy? Fuck Sebastian. Yeah. Jesus.
It is so. I think this secret operation that Lance is coming up with is starting to come more into focus. This is about cash smuggling, right?
Seems like it. Yeah.
They took great pains to show us that they are eliminating cash, and defacing it and making sure it's out of currency because they've got an economy that works a certain way and it needs a certain amount. And now the people who, like Sebastian should be cut off from his allowance because he's a real shitbag, and he's, even by Commonwealth standards, he's kicking against the system in not a helpful way. And his response is, I'm going to bring more essentially counterfeit cash and flood the market and probably ruin the economy. But before then, I thought it's like, this is going to be some kind of,
like, that's the question. Is he going to assume control and rebuild society in his own image?
No, I don't think. I think Hornsby is thinking at that level. Sebastian's just a useful idiot. Sebastian wants money.
Yeah.
He just wants money in his pocket.
That's what I mean. Like, what's Lance's game?
I think he wants to be like, he's essentially a Littlefinger. He wants to be king. It seems to me.
So you break the economy and then question mark profit?
That undermines faith in the leadership, and then you have somebody that's right
in and say, I know how to fix this.
Exactly.
Remove all the cash I put into the economy.
Yeah.
Burn it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. But boy, that Sebastian guy, he's fucking intolerable.
Yeah, there's
he's not quite Joffrey levels, but he's a shitbag.
Plus, like, I just feel like I almost borderline don't buy Daryl and Rosita going along with this, because there's a lot of points in this episode where they almost do it. Like right outside the police office after you got your orders, these two guys did they not know that they were Sebastian's kind of like goons? They run up and be like, oh, we got a swarm situation. You're going to have to abandon your post. You're going to have to help us with it. And Daryl's like, we just got our orders and they're relatively new in the position. I feel like they should have just spun back and just checked with the commander. Be like, hey, we're kind of new here.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the chain of command is. Do you want us to go deal with this swarm? But like every single way they take the dumb decision. Like Sebastian threatens his kids. Daryl's about to gut him. Rosita's like, you're just going to have us do this one thing, right? Because that's the way this stuff always works.
Of course, that's the way blackmail works, yeah.
People are, I feel like Daryl and Rosita are smarter and stronger than this, and they'd almost rather go down swinging than get embroiled into this soft, power thing that Hornsby's dealing.
Yeah. I don't know what they could pretty easily kill these two troopers in Sebastian as well.
I think so.
In this situation,
I think so. Yeah.
If they really think all these people are dirty, I feel like Daryl just would have, but.
Yeah, and then you just kill him and you pull a Mercer. You just kill him and you walk back to base and be like, well, we patrolled our zone. Everything's fine. Oh, these two guys. Oh, wow, that's too bad. I wonder what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was funny when they got all gutted up.
Yeah.
That there's conspicuous handprints on, I think, Daryl's ass armor.
All right. Rosita, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's is really fun. It's like a really prominent ass print where it's not smeared at all. Just like somebody gave him like a good luck smack with the zombie guts. It really tickled me.
Yeah, nice. So they go inside the house. They find the panic room, but the power's down, so the door won't unlock. Turns out there's a woman named April inside the panic room. She was sent to get cash, but things went bad and she locked herself inside. And with the power off, she wasn't able to get out. So Daryl tells Rosita to stay with her while he works on turning the power back on.
Yeah.
There's
pretty terrible shit.
There's, I guess, more to this woman than this episode lets on. Unless you recognize her name, unless you went through the list that was slid under Connie's door, name by name, and recognized, there's an April on it. This might be one of those people on that list. That list might be, that list might be people who were sent on these missions. That list might be people with debts to pay, people who made mistakes, like Lance says.
Disappeared in society. Yeah, I forgot that Connie was even doing an investigation. It's been so long since we checked in on it.
Yeah, I did too. I happened to be reading a post on this from somebody, and just found that out. But that's okay. That's intriguing.
Yeah, no, it seems like this is a scandal that's about ready to bust wide open. Seems like, it'd be shocking. And crucially, you've got some people, if you want to do like a military coup, it seems like you got Mercer 1 foot and 4 toes over onto your side. You just got like the pinky for Commonwealth loyalty. And
when are we getting back around to there are literally dozens of us? The whole resistance movement. When are we getting back around to that? Because that's a thing that Tyler just said. And we saw Rosita raid like a resistance location, but that was it. And it's been episodes now.
Do you think Mercer is part of the resistance secretly? And he's kind of like
maybe
progressively testing the waters more and more with Rosita and Daryl to see if they could be trusted?
Maybe. That's a possibility, I'd say. Because he's definitely not on board with everything going on.
If not, I bet his sister is. Mm-hmm. And I bet that's going to be. But yeah, it seems. I don't think we're meant to forget that. And I don't think the show has either. There's probably going to be, as soon as our group wakes, because like that's always been the question. It neatly answers it. How does this group of ragtag Alexandrians take on a town of 50,000? Well, there's already resistance that they can then conveniently be the leaders of somehow. And probably because they got combat experience, all that stuff. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, how about in next episode, the finale of this part of the season, whatever, when they roll up to Maggie at the hilltop, if the like 50 troopers that are with them all just pull off their helmets and say we're the resistance, and then Mercer is turned.
Take Hornsby prisoner. And,
literally their entire army is resistance. They just don't know it because everybody's wearing helmets.
I think something like that is going to happen. I think Maggie and Daryl are going to collude and make this a big thing, and take these people by surprise. And but they have to have some kind of local resistance. It's the only way they'd have enough people to make any kind of effective change, to lead a revolution. So that part of the season, not especially stupid.
No, it's not. It's just, it's been off the show's radar for a little while now. Also, another thing off the radar, like you said, Connie hasn't been in the show for a while, but where the hell is Yumiko?
Yeah, she's in the State Department. She's got to be seeing this at a high level, right?
Why aren't we seeing it at a high level too? Like they should be showing us what's going on in the State Department with. The
real answer, if you notice that all these episodes have this like 2 or 3 main people, and they're completely isolated from everybody else. And whenever they get together, they're all outside in a big set like Alexandria, coming and going, so they're not going to stick together. It's
sure.
I think they're doing the best they can, but this is it's. I mean, it used to be a budget limit, but I think now it's a COVID limitation to where
it feels like that's an integral piece, the thing that they definitely need to be showing us, and we're not seeing any of it, which makes me worry that, well, all that time spent with Eugene is too much. They could have done half an episode, a full episode with Yumiko, and we would have known
here's
what's
the
going
other thing
here.
is, okay, you got to shoot it that way. There's nothing saying you got to edit it that way. Like, why can't we get all these things threaded together so we don't have to do all this last week, 2 weeks ago, 2 hours from 17 minutes from now? Like, just stitch it together. I don't know. I'm not sure why.
It wouldn't be any more blatant. It's not like, that would give away the game, right? Because we're already giving away the game.
Yeah.
We already know. I just need to see that element of it. Like, what's going on in the rooms of power here.
Yeah. I wish we just had a moment where we thought a non-idiot show watcher could think that, the Commonwealth actually is a pretty good idea and a neat place. And have some of the Alexandria stalwarts have have a true civil war where like some of them like, I don't understand what you see. Like, do you understand how much better this place is? But they could do that, but they're not. And I think that's disappointing.
Yeah. And they might take
away.
That's
what they're going to do.
They might take away our lands. They might take away I don't know, our
record players,
food, but they'll never take our records. Yeah. All right. Negan tells the Alexandrians that he's married now, And then Gabriel tries to claim that the Commonwealth is different from other places, but Lydia disagrees. She thinks they're just as shitty as the Whisperers. And then Annie calls to tell Negan they need to move.
Can I ask you why Lydia is turned 180 degrees? Like, she left 2 episodes ago to join up with the Commonwealth because Hilltop sucks so bad. And she sees one shady detachment of Special Forces guys doing some shady shit. And she's like, oh, I've seen it all. This is bad. Like, man, let me tell you about this place called the United States of America. We have Black Ops guys doing shady shit that we wouldn't approve of citizens. And it's, that's the other thing is like, man, I thought they were going to do some kind of interesting, smart CIA allegory of like finding these smaller, weaker places and just exploiting the shit out of them. It's like, yeah, you think it's bad being a table waiter in the Commonwealth? Well, wait until you see what it's like to live on one of their fucking opium farms or one of their cash transfers facilities, because they're essentially slaves. And they're giving that up just to make Toby a insane alcoholic for a 2-episode stretch. Like, every single time I'm like, you know what? This is some Iran-Contra shit they're going to pull. Nope. No fucking way. None of these people live through that. They have no memory of it. It's just bad, okay?
Yeah. I don't mind this scene aside from the Lydia stuff. Yeah, I think that's a little silly. But, Negan giving looks here, worrying about, okay, what is Annie going to tell Maggie about? Or what is Maggie going to tell Annie about his past? Is what we're supposed to be thinking. But then the episode just totally undermines that, right? Like,
yes,
she already knows it all. So why is Negan giving looks here?
I guess if I'm being charitable, because I had the same thing. Like, I'm like, oh God, Negan has tried. He's gonna, and I thought maybe Maggie would tell her some things that she found shocking and didn't know, but she would still kind of take the say, so, you know what? I've done shitty things, and that's not. I know that the man I've been living with for somewhere between 12 weeks and 6 months is not that man anymore. You can't, yeah, they play it up like Negan's really If I put on my charity hat on, I think you could say he still thinks it's unfortunate that his wife is going to have to deal with, the direct consequences of his shitty actions.
Okay.
Like, it's got to be unpleasant and uncomfortable to have the widow of the man you killed and this son that you're entrusted with being like, did you let me tell you about what it was like to watch Glenn Ree's brains be beat out and his eyeball dislocated and like that. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun. So maybe he's just worried like, shit, man, Annie, boy, she's getting paired off with this Wolverine that's gonna really take it to her hard, and I can't protect her from it, and blah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I do like where they've put Negan's character though. Like, Negan is just a totally changed guy, right? I don't know if his time in the cells of Alexandria were the sole cause of this, but or if like being around these people who are better than he was is the real reason. But Negan being worried about this and Negan having told her everything is not the Negan of the past. It's not even close.
Right. And the bigger
it's a
problem
Negan who's evolved and understands that like this, if he is going to have a relationship with this woman, it can't be one that starts with deceit, right?
Yeah, and I actually think that the Negan arc is one of the things the show has done the best, even with the missteps with having Maggie and him being, more openly antagonistic than I think they probably should have for the sake of good drama. It's still one of the better things they've done for sure.
I think so.
But also, now that we're talking about it, if Annie knows all this shit, why does she volunteer Negan for babysitting duty? She says these people, someone needs to stay with these people that they can trust. Well, if she knows all the history of Negan and these people, why in the hell would she say that?
I'm not connecting the dots here. What's wrong with that?
Annie tells Negan, because Negan says, I'm going to go with you to clear out the apartment. She goes, no, you need to stay here. Someone needs to stay with these people that they trust. And everyone in the room looks around.
Her people. Yeah.
Oh, her people? I thought she was saying this about, because like any number of her people are there to protect them. Sure. Like, it's like, it's the strangers that need to feel safe.
They don't feel like fighters, though. I feel like none of these people are fighters. These people are just somehow soft. And I don't get that because this is a community of 40 and there's no fucking way anybody in a 40 strong community could be soft.
Could be this soft. Yeah.
But yeah, they seem like the I don't know, protection quest in some video game where like they're totally defenseless and only Negan can help them.
Okay. Like I said, I thought she was talking about the Alexander people because all the Alexanders look around the room like, oh,
yeah, we don't trust this guy. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. And that's before little Herschel shows up.
Yeah, you might be right. I might have misread that. So yeah, let's talk about Herschel. It turns out Herschel hitched a ride to this building with Maggie in her cart, and I'm not actually sure how he even ends up in here, but we'll talk about it. Negan finds him and then kills a trooper that called it in.
Can I have a juice box? It's been a couple hours. I'm thirsty.
I guess the east exit was open because Gabriel and Negan killed those guys, so maybe you did just walk in.
I did like Negan looking out the window and being like, oh, shit. And I'm thinking, my God, what's happened? The zombies have broken through. They've encircled. Like, what's going on? And it's just Herschel. Mm-hmm. That's just Herschel showing up. And he realizes what a fucking pain in the ass this is going to be.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of logistics. Like, okay, so he got into the cart. How did he get into the cart without anybody seeing him?
They took a truck. They drove a truck.
Oh, right. It was a truck.
Right.
So they drive out there, they spot Aaron. Herschel, stays in his truck while they're talking to Aaron. Then they drive even further to the building
right. And Herschel still stayed
maybe they
hidden.
walked to the building because Aaron ran out of the woods not too far from where that building was. So maybe they just stayed parked there. How did he follow them to the building without being spotted?
He could follow the gunshots, I'm assuming.
If anybody's soft, this kid's soft.
Yeah.
All these gunshots are not bringing in walkers that will...
It does make sense that he doesn't, because there's this whole thing with Judith and Gracie where they're talking about adults and they promise they'll always be back and that they lie, and he was kind of like unsure about her leaving. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to sneak and want to do this, but you're right, like it doesn't make a whole ton of sense about how it all worked out.
I mean, maybe it does. We just aren't shown any of it.
But I want to know, who did Maggie entrust with Herschel? Because that's the real problem.
No one. Like, she entrusted the entire hilltop to Herschel is what happened.
Oh,
she's like, you're the man now, dog.
Yeah. Well, you need someone that important. But like, I always think that's the real kicker is like, who is responsible for the children in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
Like, that's a really...
I mean, look at the shitty teens.
No
one. No one. Yeah. They let these teens grow up as wild as they want to be.
Well, they get to be shitty teens. Who gives a fuck? But while you're still a child, until you're shaven, until your balls drop... you probably need some supervision in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think.
I feel like you don't get to be a shitty teen unless you've had lack of supervision, right?
It's probably a leading indicator.
Yeah. Because these shitty teens are not just shitty. They're also totally unprepared for the world outside.
Yeah, they're cruel.
That's the problem.
I mean, but we're just talking kind of shitty teen.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
True. All right, Annie tells Maggie that she's pregnant with Negan's baby, and Negan calls to tell Maggie that Herschel's here. Negan says, don't worry, I'll protect Herschel while you continue on the mission. Maggie's worried about him being with Negan, obviously, and Annie says she knows all about his past, and she's okay with it because shit happens. She's 12 weeks pregnant.
Shit happens, man.
Apparently.
Life you fast.
Yeah. 12 weeks.
He's going to be an old man dad in the apocalypse. Woof.
Yeah, it's rough at the best of times.
Yeah, I got 55 years old and there's siren children. Man, you're gonna. That's.
But this did have me. I started to do the math in my head. I'm like, okay, if it's 12 weeks, we're like 3 months in. We know the flashback is 6 months later. So there's a 3-month window here where everything else has to have happened. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You idiot.
For this show?
Right. Just sit down and shut up, man. Watch the show.
Carrie Matherson, Homeland yarn board going to try to connect the dots. And
I end up like Eugene with a fucking mullet.
Yeah. I actually like the speech. I always like it. like, how do you live with yourself when you've done something shitty? Because it's like, this is from Breaking Bad to Walking Dead. It's like you just kind of have to find a way that, like, you always did the best you could with the materials and the knowledge you had at hand at the time, and you know better now, and you wouldn't do it again, and you're trying to be better. That's all you can. That's kind of what sucks about life, is like, for big things you can't really forgive and forget and atone. It's just you gotta live with it and know you're not that person anymore.
Especially with a mistake that has those consequences, right? Like, you can't bring back Glenn. You can't give this kid a father again. Like,
and that's a big mistake. I mean, that's like I was just a warlord for a couple of years there. Oh, I went through a warlord phase of my life,
right.
It was a wild, but unless you're just like the only two solutions, like, just lay down and die right now.
Sure.
Because or find a way to keep on and do better. So I like how. I like how they talked about that, and it's also good because I don't think they've done this development of Maggie and Negan very well. But this is, if they had, this is the kind of scene that nudges Maggie into the right direction. The fact that Negan, he is the man now that you can trust with your child.
And when he
he's
gets
proven it
out,
several times.
And I think Maggie has always been side-eyeing him, right? Like, he's only under...
Yes.
He's only being a decent person here because he's under the thumb of Alexandria. And as soon as the pressure is let off of him, he will recoil like a fucking spring right back into Negan mode and start his shit all over again. But now we see a case where that's not true. He's gone out. He's been on his own for at least 12 weeks. And he's embedded himself in a group of people who...
also, literally.
He's penetrated this group, and he seems like he's turned into he's not turned back into a shitbag, right? Like, I think
I made jokes, but that's a solid point. That this is a refuge. Like, if Negan wanted to start up the Warlord band, this would have been the prime chance to do it. Also, there's a little ambiguity because Ian is a maniac,
right?
So, like, there's also kind of like, well, maybe Negan found stability in a place where he didn't have to out maniac a maniac,
right?
But like, yes, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, and the more they show these people being decent, aside from their crazy ass leader, it just comes more into focus. So,
and you might find out that was a part that Ian played anytime they made new contact. Like, they got these skulls, and he talks about the thing, and he plays his part, and how they react to that tells them what, like, because there's all kind. Rick had to throw you in jail and ask you your 3 questions while he's getting a telephone from his call from his dead wife. Like, some crazy shit. You vet people crazy, but I wonder if we'll find out, because if that's all subterfuge or some way to sneak out, especially since turns out they were right and these people were there to hurt them for no damn good reason. That would make a lot of sense. One of those things that, like I said, I'm looking for ways that they can stick some of these landings.
Sure.
Because so far we got a sprung wrist and a broken ankle. I don't know if we're going to stick them all.
All right, Negan tells Herschel how he used to be a good man. Not a good man. He's a good man now. He used to be a bad man. And Herschel pulls a gun on him, figuring he must be the guy who killed his dad. Because, all bad men killed his dad, apparently. Negan tells Herschel that he might deserve to die, but the people hiding with him don't. And if he fires, he'll give away their location. So Herschel puts down the gun and runs off. This is a good scene. Man... This is the lament of The Walking Dead, is how good their actors are on average.
Yes.
And how the material they're given just isn't up to par with their abilities. Although this scene, I think, comes pretty close. I think this is a well-written scene.
It's kind of like I've been watching The Gilded Age, and I think the same thing. Like, my God, look at these amazing actors given just complete drivel to work with. But Walking Dead throughout its career, its runtime has had just A+ talent that's able to, that's the exciting thing about watching shows. Like, when they get a hold of something, they really knock it out of the park. And this almost gets there. I think the big problem is they directed Herschel like he is a child who's held a gun for the first time in his life. I don't believe the son of Maggie Gee, who has grown up on the road menaced by zombies and people alike, has never held a gun before. Yeah. And is holding it like a sweaty 6-year-old that's had too much Pop Rocks and Mountain Dew. Like, he's just jittering with it and he can't hold it straight. Like, he might be nervous, but he should be able to hold the gun. I really do think. And the scene would have worked better if I thought that this kid was really close to pulling the trigger. But like, I at no point thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah. If Negan had killed Rick and this was Judith, it would have been even better.
Judith holding the gun to the guy? Yeah. I'm sweating for Negan.
These moments are the important moments in the evolution of a character like Negan, right? I think it's impossible to tell the full story that they want to tell about Negan's reform without just through plot mechanics. And you can do things like I was saying, like him showing up here 12 weeks and not being an asshole shows that a little bit. But to get to the true remorse that he feels, you've got to get inside his head and he's got to speak it to you in a believable way. And man, he does in this scene. I feel everything that Negan probably feels in this scene.
And not just that, like even the shades of things, like it's fucked up that I got a kid holding a gun to me and he's right. Like
I put myself here. Yeah. Like this is,
look at my life. Look at my choices.
Right. The consequences, the chicken's coming home to roost. It's really strong scene.
And it's also great because like as like there's an electricity in the room as more and more people like, oh my God, there's kids pulled a gun on this dude. And you know, Negan appealing. Like that's the thing. It's like I wish I believed that Herschel Jr. would blow his brains out because it would have made the moment of Herschel you know, making the choice like, you're right, I can't kill you because it would put all these other good people at risk.
He pulls out a knife and slits his throat,
and stabs him instead. I'm going to bleed you slow and quiet, old man. Stick.
Puts his hand over his mouth, cradles him to the ground. All you got to do is not scream. Don't scream, asshole. You don't want to give these good people away.
That'd be hilarious.
Chop.
This kid is just shivving him like it's something out of Oz.
Yeah, if he pulled a sharpened toothbrush on him, that'd be fantastic. All right, let's move on to Daryl finding the power system and turning it back on, and some walkers attack him. The obligatory walker fight here, and he fights them off.
What do you think of the dark strobe light lit zombie fight? We've seen a couple dark room zombie fights.
I liked it. I enjoyed watching Daryl take on like 4 or 5 walkers at a time with weapons that are not super effective.
Right. Why does he start removing his armor?
This is the thing I don't understand, because he seems pretty protected and then he pulls off his chest piece or whatever, right? And
it's too restrictive.
Is that the thing? Like once a trooper loses its guns, it's just like a turtle on its back. It can't do anything.
I don't know. He's got those Batman spikes, and I'm like, but he took off his Batman spikes so he can start hitting the walkers with it. But like, it's strapped to your arm, dude.
Right.
And like, okay, that makes sense, but why your chest piece?
I don't know.
And you're like, I don't know. I thought that was really weird. And it's weird because like then the next scene, it's like makes a lot of sense to like divvy up the armor so you can equally cover everyone the guts before they. But like, why is he taking off the armor before that? I just, there's a lot of things that just didn't really make sense. Maybe if like Daryl come in and she's like, what happened to your armor? He's like, I move better with it. Like, I thought that's stupid, but like, okay, I could see Daryl being like, I'm a Conan the Barbarian. I just fight in a chainmail bikini and, you know, anything else. Full plate armor, just slow me down.
I needed like a really stirring soundtrack here, and I needed him to reach behind himself and pull off his back piece to reveal underneath the angel wings, and then the crescendo of the music, and then he goes into ass-kicking mode.
It's the only things you see in the gloom, the illuminated wings. Yeah,
that one bright blue wing. Yeah, would have been amazing. Also, an incredibly dangerous thing to do here, using pliers as a fuse.
No shit. There's a lot of power going through that circuit.
At best, you buy yourself a little bit of time to open this door before the whole fucking system melts. Because that fuse blew for a reason, right? It didn't just like...
Well, I thought it might be a safety interlock. You know, like outside on your air conditioner, they got that big block of copper that you can just unplug to just take all the power out of it. I thought it was like one of those that was missing.
Yeah, could
be.
Like
it's designed to be bridged, but...
Gotcha.
Yeah,
maybe that's the case. Maybe this is not a fuse box. And
I'm not an electrician, and I guess the shortest path in the circuit's still between. But like, I don't just handling bare ass pliers and jabbing it in there. I don't know why it wasn't going through Daryl to the ground.
probably should.
But again, I'm not an electrician. I would stay away from that much power.
Daryl's hands are so calloused; they're just perfect insulators.
Yeah.
There was no path to ground there. All right, let's go to Rosita opening the panic room and Daryl attempting to pop the safe open. Unfortunately, alarm goes off, attracting the attention of every walker in the vicinity into the house. Rosita shuts off the alarm. Daryl gets the safe open. They load up the cash, cover April's wrists in blood, I guess. And then she's not nearly blood enough. Give her your wrist guards. Give her your... I don't know. And then prepare to exit the room. Then Mercer and Carol show up outside. Mercer sorts through the situation, and then they gut up and go. And April gets caught on a walker, and they have to fight their way out, and she's killed.
Jim,
a lot of stuff
you have
here.
A guy circa, 2005 is when the world falls, something around there, early 2000s.
It can't be, because they have iPhone 4s, so it's got to be like late 2000s at earliest.
So you got late 2000s, huge ass mansion, super rich guy, to the extent that he's got a panic room.
Mm-hmm.
Within that panic room resides a safe that can be jimmied open with a fucking crowbar.
Yeah.
That guy really cheaped out. Like, even those safes you can get at Sam's Club, I don't think you can crowbar open. I really don't. I don't think you can crowbar something like an inch and a half. That's true. He did destroy a tank single-handedly.
It's true.
So if anybody can do it, but like, I'm like, God damn, this is just no fucking way.
Yeah.
Every time I watch Ocean's 11 now, it's like, just fuck all that shit with the Chinese acrobat and stuff. All you need is a crowbar in like 10 seconds, man.
Right.
No problem.
Yeah. Flimsy safe for sure. Also the guts. The guts are flimsy, man. What happened to the days of hanging entrails and like that would get you through the crowd? But now they literally just put blood on her wrists.
Yeah.
Because all that other blood she's covered in is dry as
like perfume. Fuck. You put it on your pulse spot on your neck. You put it on your wrist. You rub them together, and you missed some zombie blood, and you walk through the cloud. Yeah. You're good to
apparently, and they put it on they spread it on their armor, right? Just like little streaks of blood and whatever.
Yeah, nice ass prints.
Nothing on their faces, nothing on their heads. Like this is the halfest asses of blood of guts covering I've ever seen.
Well,
man.
The viewers at home won't want to fuck Daryl and or Rosita if they're covered in zombie guts on their face. And
yes, they will. Are you kidding? The people who are still watching this show are gonna want to fuck them, no matter.
I want to fuck them more. Yeah. Let's get gutted up.
Bothers me.
I like how it's a phrase now. We gotta get gutted up.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gut up. Let's get out of here.
Gut up and go.
Gut up and go. That's like I'm always perplexed when I'm driving around the country. I was out in Colorado a couple weeks ago, and they have convenience stores called Come and Go.
They sure do.
I don't understand how that passed go. I don't understand how that like got through where someone came up with a logo but like if we have a post-apocalypse, I nominate the C-store chain to be Gut and Go.
I mean, in California, they have fast food restaurants called In-N-Out. So
it's still not as like Come and Go.
Sure.
I'm
with you.
Just have white teardrop things coming off the logo.
Mm-hmm. Maybe an eggplant or two emoji there.
Yeah. Just lean into it. Sure.
All right.
Oh, also, yes. Of course, the fucking new girl. We're talking about the relative softness of people. April.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that you can get your strap caught and you knife one zombie and then it's like you're almost surprised it works and then two other turn your way and you just go screaming down and you die. Like there was combat for like all of 10 seconds and it was over and she couldn't keep a zombie from biting her wearing armor on her arms,
on her wrist. Yeah, just shove that armor in the.
You got your Batman
mouth.
shit. I don't understand. I even. Like, no one in the Commonwealth was born in the Commonwealth. Certainly not this woman. She spent some time running around screaming from zombies. Like, I feel like no place has the fat anymore in terms of people that just lose their shit at the sight of zombies. I mean, everybody's kind of been skeleton. It's just the raw skeleton, bone and muscle mass is left in these communities.
Yeah, you would think so. But
poor April. She's the stand-in for the 40 people that have died for these 3 bags of cash.
Yep. All right, Maggie and Annie have a near encounter with Toby, who says they found the guns, or they're going to find the guns in the next hour, or they're going to burn this place to the ground. And Maggie calls Gabriel to say she has a plan.
You think he's getting drunk one pinky lick at a time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because he's starting to slosh and slur and stagger. I wonder if he's like just not taking gulps, or if he's still just just keep on tonguing that pinky.
Sure. And he does it. He goes up. He has to go up to a trooper to truly get off. He's got to go up to a trooper and do it right in their face.
This I forget. It's just for people that are not watching the show but just listening. This guy's tick is he's got a bottle of whiskey and he's an alcoholic, so he's not drinking. What he does is he sticks his pinky, gets it wet, and sucks it off.
Yeah,
comes and goes.
He gives it the old in and out. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But somehow he's done that to where he's just like starting to knock his knees walking.
Apparently. So Toby searches an apartment and he finds the secret door, but fortunately for the hiders here, Gabriel and Aaron draw Toby's attention back to the rooftop. Someone sneaks up behind the troopers, takes them out. Toby calls for help. Nobody's coming. He tries to calm everybody down, but nobody is interested in hearing it. And Aaron shoots him off the roof, paralyzing him, and then the pile of walkers that he created below eats him.
That was a hell of a death for a character that I didn't feel like they'd quite earn.
Quit your fucking whining. You've got your guts protected. I don't want to hear it. I've seen so much worse deaths. Like, a couple of walkers gnawed on your jawbone. Nobody gives a shit, man. I've seen people with their entrails wrapped around their neck and choked out with them.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
They're going to have to eat him through his armpits and groin, man. It's the only way in.
Yeah, they're taking neck bites. It's a simple, easy death. He got off easy, man.
I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like that this guy could have been an interesting antagonist.
Yeah, I'm surprised they killed him when they did.
A dangerous antagonist, like the only one in Commonwealth that I respect other than Mercer, who seems like he's on our side.
Yeah.
It seems a shame to get rid of him and have him deteriorate so fastly. Like, man, he gets out of this. He really was white knuckling this post-apocalypse alcoholism thing.
Yeah.
And have him quoting from like the AA Bible right as they're about to throw him up, like, wisdom, God grant me the strength to change the things I can, the patience to deal with, and the wisdom to know the difference. And then 5 seconds later, God grant you the patience for this one, sir.
Yeah, there's no wisdom that's going to help you in the moment the zombies are eating your chin.
Yeah. They could have done a lot with the ex-CIA agent analyst running guns and drugs and money to colonize communities that have puppet governments and banana. They could have done a lot of interesting things with that. I wonder what they will. They're clearly making room for something even more interesting, even better.
Oh, sure. I trust him. All right, Daryl's group brings the money back to Sebastian's guys. Mercer decides they don't deserve to live and kills them both. Then Mercer tells them they have to give the money to Sebastian, and he'll smuggle it in for him. Yeah, this is kind of the turn, I think, for Mercer. Like, I've always been kind of on the fence with how far is he willing to go here. And it seems like, with the killing of Sebastian's guys, he's kind of picked a side.
No, he's like a Tom Clancy protagonist. He's like, he'll go along with the system because he does follow orders and he's a military guy and he trusts the chain of command. But by God, you offend his personal sense of justice and then it's over.
He'll Jack Ryan your ass. That's not a thing.
That's right. He'll John Clark your ass. You use 40 civilians just to slake your naked appetite. That's not going to sit well with him.
Yeah,
and he's done. He's had enough. I'm very curious to see where this goes because I think Mercer is like, of the new guys, he's kind of my favorite. He's badass looking. He's got a cool backstory. He's like stoic. He's got an interesting relationship with his sister. Like, how did he rise so high? Was he a genuine, true believer? Are we going to get a flashback? I would love a flashback of Mercer coming across this place and getting integrated to it.
Oh, sure.
This is an honorable, capable man. and has gotten to the has the slow boil frog phase in with him, and we're already in a rapidly boiling pot when we arrive. I would like something like that, because I'm really fascinated by this Mercer guy.
Yeah, me too. All right, Sebastian shows up at Trooper HQ to collect his booty, giving Daryl and Rosita a cut, and then he smarms off back to whatever hole he crawled out of. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, and he's so oblivious, or like not oblivious, just so far above it that he doesn't even care that people think he's a shitbag, because he thinks he's untouchable. And everybody looks at Mercer. And I wrote in my notes, it's absolutely unbelievable that Daryl sides against Maggie at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's clear at this point that will be a rope.
Unless it's literally under duress, I'm going to kill Judith and Grace and everybody else in my power unless you go and take Maggie. And but even then, like, I don't know, man.
I don't think he'd be willing to kill her. I think he'd be willing to, under those circumstances, imprison her, maybe, with the hope of getting her out sooner rather than later.
But it's putting her into like this prison situation. I don't know. I think he'd almost rather die than lead the force to do that.
Maybe he remembers how prison is, I'm sure.
But I think more likely they're going to come up with a way to communicate and work out a resistance, and it's all going to be a put. And I wish I was actually somewhat concerned about how this would go, and it's a real Civil War situation, but I don't see it now.
All right, Lance tries to raise Toby on the walkie, but there's no answer. Then Carol pays him a visit. She tells him about Sebastian's cash missions, and Lance is happy to hear that they got the money because he's in on it. And he's sent, all the others because they made mistakes and they can't let their system of order break down. And Carol tells Lance what he wants to hear and then leaves with a look.
Yeah, it reminds me of a part in like the Prince of Egypt where like Moses has learned the truth about how the Israelites, the quote unquote truth about how the Israelites were enslaved by the Egyptians. And he's like, went into the Hall of Secrets and he's uncovered his grim secret, and the Pharaoh comes up and you think he's going to like say something to make it make sense, right? And, Moses is waiting. It's like, your dad, you didn't just kill all my people for no goddamn reason. And like, he's got this haunted look. He's like, you don't understand. They grew so numerous. We were afraid. And then Moses knows, oh, Jesus Christ. It's I'm surprised Hornsby goes full on Pharaoh here. I was like, we just got to understand, Carol. This is the way things got to be. Like,
I feel like I'm watching Breaking Bad right now again. Because you're making references that I'm not privy to. I've not seen The Prince of Egypt.
Have you not seen The Prince of Thieves?
No.
The Prince of Egypt.
No, I've not.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
I feel like your bridge over River Kwai.
I think I gave enough context for you to get what I'm trying to say here.
Totally. But like the lead in, I was very puzzled. I'm like, okay, Moses. Yeah, I know who that is.
It seems weird that he just goes all in with like, yes, I'm complicit with this thing that you're like, it's weird because Carol approached him as a concerned citizen and she switches into like cooking Carol mode. But
she switches into like, I'm a potential ally for you.
Yes.
Mode, which,
or at worst, I'm just a housewife with no opinions. Although you can't really pull that with Hornsby because he knows you're more than that. But it's one of those things where like I don't feel like the writers put in any effort into creating the kind of subterfuge that they were obviously trying to create with the acting and the music. It makes Hornsby not self-aware. Like, does he think? I don't know. I guess that's the question. It's like these people on the top. Do they really believe that this is all right and just and good? And everyone, if anyone understood, they would agree with him. If I could just explain the situation, everybody be on board. I don't know. Maybe that's what they think.
Yeah. I want everybody who comes into Lance's office to walk up and stir his whiskey with their pinky and then lick it off. I wanted Carol to do that in this scene. I would like to see Aaron do that with his mace, maybe. Like dip one of the tips of a spike in there and then just suck that off. That'd be pretty good.
One specially made long spike so you can just stir it. Yeah.
A stir and spike.
You gotta have at least one long spike.
Oh, yeah. Negan tells Herschel to go home, grow up, and then come find him in a few years, and they'll settle the beef they have. Maggie returns.
They just ripped this off from Kill Bill Volume 1, right? This is the bride sitting down with the...
Now you're speaking my... Now I get the references.
Okay, so you've actually seen a movie. Okay, that's interesting. As a podcaster that covers these things.
The Prince of Egypt. 90% of our audience hasn't seen The Prince of Egypt.
Oh, that is bullshit. Oh, Watching Dead at baldmove.com. Yep, let's just have an impromptu poll here.
And let's not be lazy people who have not. I know you're sitting at home. You're
stand up for your not having seen Prince of Egypt brother here. He's desperate. He needs aid.
Help me out here. Maggie returns and asks Herschel what Negan said, but he's not telling. And Aaron and Gabriel go back to the Commonwealth, and they're wondering who stole the weapons. And then we get a flashback 2 weeks ago. Somebody else killed the troopers and took the weapons. I think it's Leah. It's hard to tell.
Totally Leah.
I'm pretty sure it's Leah, but
yeah,
it was a weird shot of her. I don't know.
It is like this heroic kind of like, or villainous, like she's slitting some person's throat between her legs. And it kind of pans up and up and up, and plus like she's had like 3 different hairstyles.
I know, she looks very different here.
She was like redhead brunette in when first introduced, and then she's brunette rather, and then she's like a peroxide blonde, and now I don't know, she got dirt and blood in it going, but it is definitely Leah.
Oh, totally.
And the thing is the weapons are red herring because it's either a big shipment of drugs or probably cash that Hornsby's going to use to destabilize the economy, or I don't know, bring Commonwealth to heel or start his new empire.
Yeah, definitely cash is what he's been driving for. He was happy that they found it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm curious what Leah's plan is here. She's picking at the edges of the Commonwealth for what purpose?
Because that's the thing. It's like, what is?
Because she's a lone wolf now, right? Like,
I think there's 2. She was the only one that made it out of there alive, isn't she?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because like my objection of how Alexander at Hilltop and Oceanside are going to stand against these people is tenfold when I say, what is Leah with a crate full of weapons going to do?
Yeah, we'll see.
Although I did see Carol take down a whole cannibal cult with just a bottle rocket and a machine gun. So
that's true, but that was Carol.
That's true. I don't know if Leah's any kind of Carol.
We'll see.
Is that it?
That's it.
Are we ready to get into feedback?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're about to open up our feedback, Watching Dead at baldmove.com. But first, take a quick break. As I said before the break, Watching Dead at baldmove.com is how you let us know if you've seen The Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
And also what you think about this season of Walking Dead. I probably should have just done a Twitter poll. I want to get an ocean. I want to get a red sea.
Literally dozens of emails.
Yeah, of people.
One email for every resistance fighter.
Say what you will about Prince of Egypt. It's got some bangers. It's got some bang. I'm not even a believer, and it gives me some chills.
I'm sure it does.
Anyway,
I wouldn't know.
Anyway, let's move on. Amber, first up, says, I don't normally watch The Talking Dead, but I had it on the background. It kind of autoplays. It's cheating at this point. When I'm watching it on Amazon, yeah, they do the Kang Cave and corner, and then they do right on to it's Hardwick, flopping into my widescreen TV.
That's smart.
Anyway, I overheard him being asked how he came to be on the show. And this is about Michael Bain. I forgot that the subject line was Michael Bain. He said he's been a big fan of the show since season 1 and always wanted to be casted. Mentioned that he admired the quality and commented on the longevity of the show. I agree that they should have cast him as Pope. Sounds like he would have been interested in having a longer role and would have killed it. Thanks for the years of coverage. Love you guys. Well, thank you. Thank you, Amber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if Michael Bain's is too expensive to have like a half season.
That's always the answer. Yeah, totally.
Because you can get some goofball and a back snap beanie cap, but Michael Bain, you might be paying 10 times for that. But he would have been just a better Pope. Yeah, he would have been a good Pope. I like the Pope they got too, but sure. Yeah, he wasn't bad. I'd like to see it. He wasn't like David Morrissey. Is that the guy's name that played the governor? He's just a shitty governor. I think he's a fine actor. I've seen him in other things I liked. I just don't. I think he was such a bad fit for the character of the governor. Steve B is going to make me try to sing here, Jim. Jeepers Creepers. Now we're back to Reapers. Jeepers Creepers. Only 3 left of those guys. I'm not going to sing the rest of this.
All
What you doing, Leah? No one wants to see ya. Bringing them back. Kang should apologize. I don't even think you're right. I think there's only one of them left. I'm not seeing where the 3 comes in.
What episode was this written for? Was there a trio last episode of something? But it definitely wasn't Leah. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
but yeah, we knew that Leah was coming back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Heath, Casey Jones has come back.
We know Heath is coming back. It's just
Casey Jones abandoned his mask and weird robes, and now he's got him back. I don't understand.
That was a surprise for sure.
Kyle's up next, says, hey guys, I love your shit. Well, thank you, Kyle. I was surprised to hear you announce that Maggie and Negan were having a spinoff. Once again, AMC lowers their already snail-level bar by taking another potential character's death off the table. And especially in light of the events of this episode, where they're really bringing this Maggie and Negan thing to a head.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
yeah,
seems
maybe
like
wait a week to announce it if you're going to do that. But okay,
or a season. Like, I don't know. Like, just finish this damn thing. Keep the other stuff under wraps, and then use the last season, the finale episode, after everybody the meager amount of the fan base is still staggering along. The sinew and bone, the muscle, all the fat's been stripped away from this community. We're just a skinny piss skeleton. That would be a nice surprise at the end of that episode. There's going to be Daryl and Carol spinoff in 2023. Negan and Maggie take Manhattan in 2023. Like that, I think that gets people hype. But now that's, I don't know.
And they've got 3 other shows that they could
$1 million network before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got so many other things they can promote too.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Rick movies that we already knew were. I don't know. It's dumb. Kyle continues, I don't know why we bitch. We know when people are going to die as a character has an episode dedicated to them and what they want out of the future, only to get bumped off in some ridiculous fashion. But that doesn't apply to Negan and Maggie, though. Like,
yeah,
those are precious resources. The characters that we've been around and give a shit about, squandering them. Anyway, the main point of my email, I will watch the spinoff. Well, they got you. They got you, Kyle.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And give it a fair go, but if they at any point hint that Maggie will touch Neeg's twig and giggleberries, then I'm doping out, as that's fucking ridiculous. Would you be able to watch or believe that Maggie would even hate Bone Negan, and would you keep watching after then? Well, first of all, I'm not going to watch the initial jump.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
They're definitely going to fuck. Get ready for it. I don't even think it's that ridiculous, honestly. If you really buy that, like, people can change and the zombie apocalypse, and you really get to know and appreciate someone differently, like I can, yeah.
Maybe
now,
it'll be
The Walking Dead write it well?
No, of course not. Maybe it'll be a Friends like Will They Won't They with Ross and Rachel. You know, maybe it'll take 5 seasons of them flirting.
Will they won't? But the first couple seasons is kill each other, and then it's like you know. Yeah.
And then it morphs gradually. What's Herschel going to do? Is Herschel going to follow them into that series? He's got to, right? Unless he's murdered.
Ghost? Oh, yeah. Little Herschel. Yeah.
Yeah. Not her father. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Negan's going to have a kid, too. So that's going to be the thing? They're going to be the Brady Bunch?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Post-apocalyptic there. This is a story of a lovely lady who was raising some Herschel on her own. Okay, I said I wasn't going to sing anymore.
Yeah,
and they got me singing again. All right, final email. Double T from Melbourne. You'll recall that we roughed him up a little bit about his fish theories last episode.
It's true.
He was talking about it, and we're like, what? Says, you guys had some pretty good points in response to my dissertation on fish. All I'll say is I wouldn't want to give up the security of cold rolled steel walls to relocate to the beach where you're hemmed up against the coastline. You'd be too vulnerable to attack from zombie hordes or enemies from inland with nowhere to run. Escaping via the ocean would be too dependent on the conditions. I've always thought the ultimate zombie apocalypse location would be an island. You get to live off the bounty of the sea, but also have the protection of the water surrounding you. Such a good place to settle. I think that's why the show has never gone there. It'd be too safe and boring. I thought that's where they were going in one season.
I mean, isn't that the name? Isn't that the name of the show that they're making with Maggie and Negan? Isn't it like Isle of the Dead?
But it's Manhattan. That's not a real island.
Oh, is it Manhattan? Has that detail come out?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I thought maybe I'm dreaming it. But
you're right. So. You're also right, but they never address that, right? They never address like the idea that, hey, we could have a food source, which is our primary concern at the moment down at Oceanside, but also they don't address the counter argument, which would be what you're saying, right? Like there's a physical security that, or a physical danger that you have by being backed against an ocean. I agree with that. That's true.
I think there's.
I don't know that should stop you if you're actively starving, but
yeah, especially when like the different coves and barrier islands and inlets and like how hard it is to spot like some of those natural harbors and things from the I don't know.
And apparently it's not a concern for Oceanside because they're still hanging out by the ocean and they had Alexandria for seasons. They could have gone there, but they didn't.
And I'm not saying put high-rise condos on the beach. I'm saying like, you can live a quarter mile from the beach inland and have a nice small footprint from where you're actually fishing and doing your commerce and stuff and, still have a 5-minute walk to food. I don't know. But you make a good point.
How are they going to surf every day if they got to walk?
It's true. East Coast surfing kind of sucks
big
too,
boards.
doesn't it?
That's true, yeah. I wouldn't want to surf in those waters.
Maybe the island retreat could be a part of the show's finale. What do you think? I'm cool with an island show. Yeah, spinoff. Dead Island. That's not Manhattan.
Sure.
P.S. Has Jim finally given up all hope of seeing a zombie? There's only 10 episodes left. Time's running out, Jim.
No, we just had a potential baby introduced in this episode. I'm more on board with that than ever.
This is true.
Right?
We have a ready
and if anybody deserves their
right
baby
now
to be zombified, it's Negan. Come on.
It's true.
Like, isn't that the ultimate payback? Oh, you killed my father. Guess what? I'm going to zombify your baby.
Sins of the father. Paid, revisited, and paid in full by the son.